You might have recognized Hwayoung in Hello My 20s or her most recent work Love Scene Number, but you might not know why many people don't want to cast her in any dramas. Before she started pursuing acting, most people knew her as a member of the hugely popular girl group T-Ara. In 2012, T-Ara was experiencing fame unlike ever before, and Hwayoung was enjoying all the perks of it. This all came to an end when the girls found themselves embroiled in a scandal that would tarnish their reputation for years to come. The drama all started when the members of the group were suddenly accused of mistreating Hwayoung, which sparked a huge wave of controversy and public outrage. But little did anyone know that Hwayoung lied about everything. The first signs of the chaos that this scandal would cause started showing during a T-Ara concert in Japan. Fans, eager to see their favorite idols perform, watched an incredibly messy scene unfold right before their eyes. The rumor broke out that Hwayoung had allegedly twisted her ankle, which is why she wasn't able to perform more than one song that night. Reports stated that Hwayoung had twisted her ankle after rushing to the dressing room following their Music Core performance on July 23, 2012. Upon returning to Seoul, Hwayoung reportedly immediately asked for medical attention and went to the hospital for a checkup. Just a day later, the group traveled to Japan, where Hwayoung was spotted wearing a cast and relying on a wheelchair for mobility. This turn of events already sparked a bit of concern among fans, but things got out of hand when fellow member Hyo-min turned to social media to share her 2 cents on the situation. She posted a cryptic message on Twitter, which by some was interpreted as an attack on Hwayoung, mocking her injury. Hyo-min said there are differences in levels of determination and urged people to have more determination, which netizens believed to be directed toward Hwayoung. To most, this message implied that Hwayoung wasn't determined enough to perform with the group. This theory was only further confirmed when Jiyeon responded with, "The differences in levels of determination. Always be humble and sensible. I applaud you. Acting genius." By now, fans were convinced the other members were trying to humiliate Hwayoung in front of the public, and it's safe to say they weren't having it. Jiyeon's last words implied that someone was acting and pretending, and the person in question was Hwayoung, who eventually responded to these tweets saying, "Sometimes even determination alone is not enough. At times like these, I feel upset, but I trust that it's a blessing in disguise from the heavens. God, you know everything, right?" The only member coming to Hwayoung's rescue was her twin sister Hyo-young. She publicly stated that her other half, Hwayoung, was going through troubles. She added that no matter what the others or the public say, she can get through this. Hwayoung immediately replied to this, saying, "You're the best." After this series of cryptic messages, fans were sent into a frenzy, believing something seriously troubling was going down behind the scenes. Some sort of internal conflict between the girls was being fought out on the public stage, laying the groundwork for what would become a devastating PR nightmare for T-Ara. To do some damage control, their agency initially argued that the girls were hacked, but to netizens, it seemed highly unlikely that all of their accounts were hacked at the exact same time. Fans believed the subtext of these tweets was clear. According to the other members, Hwayoung lacked the dedication and perseverance expected from a performer, especially since her injury forced last-minute changes to the choreographies. This, in turn, caused inconvenience for the other members who had to scramble to adjust to the performance without her. The response from the public was overwhelmingly negative. The fact that the girls were so young wasn't an excuse to behave so recklessly towards another member. Immediately after this public feud, fans started to boycott the group, believing the members were mistreating Hwayoung. Of course, fans knew that a feud like this one didn't appear out of thin air. Therefore, they started digging deeper, trying to find any past clues that indicated the girls had an issue with each other. Fans Masali went through older group content, trying to find any signs of Hwayoung's alleged mistreatment. They took offense to one of Jiyeon's older tweets. She once posted a picture of a Lego dog positioned before a bowl containing acorns, which seems like a pretty ordinary image. However, the placement of the acorn caused quite a bit of controversy amongst K-nets. In Korean culture, an acorn in a dog's food bowl carries a very specific meaning. It's traditionally associated with being ostracized or treated like an outsider. T-Ara fans interpreted the tweet as a deliberate jab directed at Hwayoung being excluded or belittled. What sparked even more outrage was yet another post made by Jiyeon. Fresh off a victory in an online popularity poll where she managed to secure first place, Jiyeon took to Instagram with a celebratory selfie. The caption, dripping with sarcasm, read, "I won first place in a popularity poll, so I'm sharing this picture. Oh, and Hwayoung got 0 votes, haha. Our poor Hwayoung." Another piece of evidence used to fuel the mistreatment narrative came from behind-the-scenes footage of a variety show called Star Life Theater. During filming, the crew asked Hwayoung why she was reading a book in the shaky van. Before Hwayoung could even explain herself, herself, Jiyeon interrupted with what fans believed was a pretty nasty remark. She said that Hwayoung only reads because there's a camera filming. While this might have just been a playful comment, it was interpreted by fans as a way of publicly humiliating Hwayoung. Tons of fans started wondering if these instances were really that serious. It turned out it wasn't something to just play off when it was announced that Hwayoung would be leaving the group on July 30th, 2012. Her departure made the mistreatment allegations seem very real, and it sent T-Ara's career into a downward spiral. The public showed no mercy, and this way, the once beloved girl group faced public backlash unlike ever before. Little did anyone know that a shocking twist was about to rewrite the narrative entirely. Hwayoung, who was now the sad victim of the story, would soon find herself as the main villain in an even bigger scandal. Until 2015, the girls faced enormous criticism, and it didn't seem like the harsh treatment from the public was going to come to an end anytime soon. They were mistaken, because in 2015 there was a huge turning point in the mistreatment case. A social media post claiming that Hwayoung was never mistreated in the first place went viral and sent shockwaves through the entire Korean entertainment industry. Remember that infamous photo of Hwayoung at the airport clinging to two men for support, supposedly due to her injured ankle? The post's author claimed to have witnessed Hwayoung walking perfectly fine just moments before the photo was taken. This could mean a few things. Either the injury was exaggerated, or there was no injury to begin with. More evidence was leading to the latter. While reports stated that Hwayoung needed hotel rest for her leg, the author claimed to have seen her visiting a nail salon instead. This was an incredibly low blow, especially since it was known that Jiyeon had performed during a music show and a concert despite having had a broken nose, taking only a single day off for surgery. This post single-handedly ignited a huge debate. Was Hwayoung the victim she portrayed herself to be, or was there a more sinister truth behind all of it? According to former T-Ara staff members and other industry insiders, Hwayoung was most definitely the bad guy in this story. Explaining what Hwayoung acted like when she was still a member of the group, an industry official said, Hwayoung started getting a celebrity disease after she settled in with the group. She was cocky about being a celebrity and a T-Ara member. The original members weren't like that. The original author of the post then recalled the rumor of Hwayoung throwing her crutches around while firmly refusing to perform on Music Bank. According to journalists, producers, and fan sites, this actually happened. It almost looked like fans knew about this incident before the media even announced it, which only made it more truthful. Tons of other staff members and public figures made statements revealing that the T-Ara girls never took part in any form of mistreatment. However, this post wasn't enough to convince the public that the entire mistreatment scandal was fabricated. This changed in 2017 when Hwayoung and her twin sister Hwayoung appeared on the talk show Taxi. This highly anticipated episode promised to finally shed light on the 2012 controversy. Hwayoung, seemingly remorseful, addressed the scandal. She downplayed its severity, blaming it on youthful misunderstandings. She said, "When I think about T-Ara now, it's something that could easily happen in a group of women. I only worked as a singer and I didn't know how to behave in everyday life. I cried a lot and shut myself up in my room. I ended up losing a lot of weight." Following this episode, a domino effect took place. First, a former T-Ara staff member came forward and claimed that both Hwayoung and Hwayoung were lying about the entire incident. As proof, they leaked chat messages that revealed the truth about the story and proved that the girls weren't really innocent. The chat showed some very disturbing messages that Hwayoung sent to member Arum. She would text her things such as, "Arum, you have to be thankful and say thank you when you're being taken care of. If you don't want to get beaten up, act right. Word spreads fast in this field. Don't mouth around and don't act cheap. And I'm gonna beat the dust off you at Music Bank." Hwayoung even threatened to scratch her face just so Arum wouldn't be able to perform on TV. While these texts seemed too insane to be true, this was sadly the reality the T-Ara girls were living in. Hwayoung's agency released a statement confirming these accusations. In an attempt to defend her, they wrote, "Hwayoung was very young back then, and seeing Hwayoung suffer from the incident made her step in because they're family. She became emotional because she was seeing her little sister suffer so much. There was no other reason for sending the messages." This staff member also shared the truth about Hwayoung's fabricated ankle injury. Reportedly, Hwayoung did visit the hospital after allegedly twisting her ankle on the way back to the dressing room. However, the medical professionals found nothing wrong with it. Despite this, Hwayoung insisted on wearing a cast, only to remove it during transportation when no one would see her. Upon arrival at the airport with reporters awaiting them, Hwayoung conveniently requested a wheelchair so that it would look like she was actually injured. Revealing details about her attitude, the staff member said, "Hwayoung always demanded that she be allowed to take care of personal tasks and did not work hard at all." T-Ara's former manager confirmed this story and said, "The post on online communities exposing what happened with T-Ara and Hwayoung is true. The released Kakao Talk conversations are all real as well. All the staff members who worked with T-Ara at the time know this to be true. Then, like the cherry on top, T-Ara's former stylist Kim Wori also came forward and shared what it was like to work with Hwayoung. He explained that although he didn't see what went down in the dorms, he could see that the relationship between the girls was worsening. Wori described Hwayoung as an overall disrespectful idol, as she was ill-mannered and rude to the staff. As an example, he stated that Hwayoung often called her hair stylist's shampoo instead of addressing them by their names. She also never used the proper titles and honorifics when addressing people, which is incredibly disrespectful in South Korean culture. Sharing more details about her behavior, another stylist said, "She expressed her dissatisfaction and complaints right in front of me. She would say things like, 'You can't style hair at all.' If I made a mistake while doing her makeup, she would say, 'You can't even draw a line.'" At this point in time, the entire public had turned against Hwayoung, but things got slightly better for her when Ah-room decided to tell her side of the story in 2018. She explained that the members were really close at first and that arguments between them were never that serious. She explained that at the height of the scandal, all of them were way too young to comprehend the consequences of their actions. She stated that the main problem was that none of them communicated enough. Ah-room revealed that Hwayoung apologized to her for sending those nasty text messages. Elaborating on that mishap and Hwayoung's role in it, she said, "Hwayoung truly has a cool personality. She was a person who took good care of me, the new member of the group. I heard that Hwayoung scolded Hwayoung for sending those text messages to me. It's been 12 years since this controversy, and it's safe to say no one has forgotten about it." Hwayoung decided to leave the idol lifestyle behind her to focus on her acting career. Although she hasn't starred in any big roles and faced a lot of criticism for trying to revive her career, her acting gig has been successful enough to keep pursuing jobs in the entertainment industry. It seems like she and the T-Ara members don't hate each other anymore, as she was spotted clapping for Eunjong at the Jecheon International Music and Film Festival in 2023. Although T-Ara's name has been cleared, none of the girls ever got to experience that same level of fame again.